Everybody, TJ Mac Vintage Cards here. Today continuing my vintage hockey case build. I'm building 30 cards from 1952 to 1963 Parkhurst and Topps. So let's go through and see what we got to date. Got the 57 Topps Gordie Howe, 60 Parkhurst Maurice Richard, 54 Parkhurst Tim Horton, 63 Parkhurst Frank Mahovlich, 61 Parkhurst Dickie Moore, 54 Parkhurst Milt Schmidt, 59 Parkhurst Doug Harvey, and today we got the 61 Topps Bobby Hull. Just a great looking card here of one of the greats of the game. Played from 1957 until 1979. This is him with the Chicago Blackhawks. Which is interesting is I'm doing this case build up to 1963, and from 58 to 63, this is the only card that depicts him in 3/4 of his body or more, which is what I'm trying to do for these cards. So I had a really limited options here, and fortunately I was able to find one in Canada that got a good price on it. Was happy with the deal. I've done a lot of business with Canada, especially lately because of where the vintage hockey's predominantly located is in Canada. Some in the States, but a lot of it in Canada. A lot of great sellers over there. Shipping's a little higher, which you're shipping across the country, so I live right by the Canadian border, but it is what it is, and I've had a lot of good transactions. So this is the front of the card. Flip it over, we'll take a look at the back. Got here, it says, Blonde Adonis with muscles on muscles. I love that opening. He was a scoring champ for 2 seasons ago at age 20. Said he started out as a center, then he went to left wing, which is what he was known as. Just great looking back on that. And we'll talk a little bit about Bobby Hull now. Now, to me, there was no player that signified the 1960s more than the Golden Jet, Bobby Hull. And I titled this Mickey Mantle on Skates because the physical characteristics between the two, to me, are very, very striking. Both men were about the same size. They were blonde. They were naturally muscular. Supremely talented and very, very charismatic players. Teammates loved playing with him. The fans loved him. Every time he had that puck and was coming down the ice, he would say, "I want to put on a show for the fans." And they would go up to their feet, just like when Mantle would come to the plate to hit. So a lot of similarities there. And what Mantle did for the tape measure home run, Bobby Hull did for the slap shot. Now, his slap shot was once clocked at 118.3 miles per hour. Now that number has been disputed some, but to put it in perspective, Zdeno Chara has the NHL record at the skills competition with 108.8 miles per hour. Hull was also probably one of the 10 or so fastest skaters of all time. He was clocked at nearly 29 miles per hour in skates. So this guy was a marvel. You know, he was a really, really talented player. Now, he entered the league when most goalies were not wearing masks. I'm going to show you some other cards of his as we're kind of going through here. And Pat Quinn, former NHL player, said that changed shortly thereafter once they saw Bobby Hull and his tremendous slap shot. And goalie Johnny Bauer for the Toronto Maple Leafs, he didn't wear a mask at that time. And he said that, you know, I wasn't really afraid of getting hit by him. But I'm not going to lie to you that I was a little nervous when I saw him coming down the wing. And when he would wind up to take that slap shot from 30 feet away, you couldn't even see that puck coming, and it was a little terrifying when it was coming in, he had to admit. And Eddie Jockman, the Rangers goalie, said one of the few players that he ever feared, in fact the only player he ever feared really, was Bobby Hull. Bobby Hull would take that high shot right near his head, make the goalie jump, and then he said that next shot would come down low, and he hated hearing the words, "goal scored by Bobby Hull." Just a tremendous, tremendous talent on the ice. And as you can see here, there's some cards of him on the WHL. So he played 16 years in the NHL. He's a 2-time Hart Trophy winner, his league MVP. He was a 10-time first-team All-Star, led the league in goals 7 times, eclipsed 50 goals 5 times, which is 1 time less than all the players combined who scored 50 goals in NHL history up to that point. He finished his NHL career with 604 goals and 1,153 points in just 1,036 games. Now, it was said that Hull was very, very unhappy with his poor pay with the Blackhawks. So in 1972, he jokingly said that he would play in the World Hockey Association for the Winnipeg Jets if they offered him $1 million a year. Well, the league owners pooled their money together, knowing that if they could get a guy like Bobby Hull to join the WHA, that would really help get the league up and running. So they ended up paying him $1.75 million over 10 years, plus $1 million signing bonus. So he left the Chicago Blackhawks and went to the Winnipeg Jets. So that's why you're seeing these cards in here from the WHA. And I have all his cards, his base cards from '68 until the year he retired in '79. Not O-Pee-Chee necessarily. I have either the Topps or O-Pee-Chee for each of those years. And then I got the '61 as well. I don't have his rookie. But he was just a fabulous player. I mean, in the WHA, he had 638 points in 411 games. He scored 77 goals in 78 games during the 1974-75 season. There was his card from that year. So you can just know the kind of player he was. He wore the number 9 out of respect to his idol, Gordie Howe, who he loved. And he was just got the opportunity to play with him in 1979 for the Hartford Whalers. So here he says it's Chicago Blackhawks, but he actually finished his career with the Whalers. So this is here the great Bobby Hull. Let me go back up here. I was going to do a Through the Cardboard episode on him, but I figure I might as well just combine this with my case build. So the case is really starting to come together. I got 8 cards here, and just another top tier player to add to this case, which I'm thrilled to do. Fix that a little bit there. And I just want to thank everybody for joining me in this episode of my hockey case build, and we'll talk again soon.